Hello.
Now I can see your dashboard live. There we go. Now I can
Okay.
see your Klaus.
Okay, so we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first Klaus product update webinar. Someone in the chat. Hello. Okay, everybody can hear us. They can see us. Firstly, sorry for the technical issue. I definitely didn't delete the whole event. That's what didn't happen.
Chris, can you maybe take out the dashboard live because now we're seeing your admin interface.
Yes.
So maybe if you can like share only
Klaus,
the tab, like take the tab, the Klaus tab out and share that tab only, maybe.
But you can just see Klaus, right?
Yeah, now we can see Klaus, but the moment you click into chat, we see the chat.
Okay.
So I'm going to take care of the chat, and you take care of the visuals. This is the first time we're doing this, so
this is the first time. Yeah. So it's trial and error. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. I'm here with Valentina. She's our Empress of Product at Klaus, and we're going to spend the next 20 minutes or so to talk to you about some of the things that we've added to Klaus over the last few months. And yeah. If you have questions, there's a questions tab on the right-hand side. So you can type your questions in there. And at the end, we will go through the ones that we didn't get to. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is a new feature for peer reviews, which Valentina is going to take us through.
So basically, peer reviews. The problem with peer reviews is you have a team, you want everybody to review everybody. So this week I'm going to review Chris, next week I'm going to review Annika, and the week after that I don't remember whom I had to review. So in real life, that means most of the time the team lead has a spreadsheet where they do the pairings, who has to review whom, and then every week has to like be punching people remotely, like, hey, remember, you have to review Chris. So in order to take away that spreadsheet, because I very much like spreadsheets, but not if I have to use them every day, you can now create peer assignments. So if you go into your workspace, you have now a new tab on top in the settings that is called assignments. And there you can add a new assignment. And there, the first that you do is you decide how often these reviews should happen. Most people do peer reviews either on a weekly cadence or on a monthly cadence. So here we're going to just leave it at 5 reviews should happen per week by everyone for everyone. And once everybody has received reviews, the cycle should just start from the beginning. Then next you decide who should be there. So let's say on the team we have Diogo, Lilian, and Medea. And then we don't want them to review themselves. And then we generate the pairings. And now you get a overview in week 1. Diogo is going to review Medea, Lilian is going to review Diogo, and Medea is reviewing Lilian. And if you skip to week 2, you'll see that this has shuffled. So that every week, everyone is going to review somebody new. And then next, we are going to get to... You could skip through all the weeks that you have, but that's not really needed. For now, you can... use for example, last time it was last reply date, and then you can choose when, if you want to have within the last 7 days, for example. So that way you know that the tickets that you're looking at are always at the most 7 days old. And then next you get an overview. We're going to add more filter views there, since this just is like fresh off the press. For now, we only have this one condition, but we're going to add 4 or 5 more conditions in the upcoming weeks. And then now you have the assignments there. Now, if you are the reviewer, like the person who has to do the peer assignments, you will see there is now a little 5 in the sidebar under the assignments icon. And there you will have all the assignments that are assigned to you. In this case, you only see 1 ticket because Ants hasn't done enough tickets. But like if the assignment says you have to review 5, you would see 5 tickets in there. And then you can rate them. And when you're done, you're done. And that way, no one has to check spreadsheets or be confused about what they should be doing. And there is a knowledge base article that explains this in even more detail. And Chris, Medea, and Diogo, whoever is your account manager, will also be happy to walk you through this if you want more help or have specific questions on how this could work for your company. Again, this is for people who do peer reviews. And now we're going to something fun, which is GIFs and emojis. Chris.
Yeah, very nice and easy one for me to explain. In the comments section down here, we've now added GIFs and emojis. So when you're adding comments, you can give some positive vibes, add some Kate Bush emojis in there. GIF, sorry. Add all of the emojis down here, which includes the Klaus emojis as well, I believe. Yeah, like this one. And then you can submit that to the agent. So you can just communicate in GIFs and emojis from now on if you prefer. And that's that.
Your data team will hate you for that. Next up, threshold. This is something I see that there are questions. I'm going to go through all of these questions at the very end. I think that's the easiest, because otherwise it's very easy to run over time. So threshold, if you look on the dashboard, by default, the threshold is 50%. So everything that is below 50% is red, and everything that is above 50%, we've already changed it here. That's why here it looks different, is 100%. And of course, if somebody only reaches 50% on your team, that's probably not good enough. So you can change the threshold. And you do that in the settings. And here we have set the threshold. From what I can see here, the threshold is probably 85%. So everything that is now below 85% will be red. Everything that is above 85% is green. And that makes it, if you have a set minimum IQS that you want to reach, that's an easy way to see that visually on the dashboard. So if that makes sense for you, adjust the threshold. And this is on a workspace level, so it should be in your workspace settings. Chris, the timeline. What is the timeline?
Yeah, the timeline is something we've added at the top of the ticket. So when you click on a ticket, you can see here the cadence in which the messages were sent, who the messages were sent by. Was it the customer? Was it the agent? Was it a note? And you can click on the timeline to go to jump to specific parts of the conversation. So if I click here, it takes me to the next message. It also shows you the size of the message as well. And you can see this always at the top. And you can see at what times, what days and what times, and by who the messages were sent by.
This is really, really helpful if you're reading through a message to actually know how much time. Like here, it looks like there was some conversation, some back and forth at the very beginning, and then like in the previous ticket, and then there was like a long time nothing happened, and then there was new conversation again. So this already gives you a little bit more context about what might have happened in that conversation. Something similar is the phone call activity graph, which is actually...
I don't have any phone calls here. I need to jump accounts.
So the phone call activity graph is very similar.
I take to another account where we have some calls in there. Sorry, I didn't think of that. As I said, it is the first time. Okay,
calls
there we go.
Previous week, probably. Yeah, that one. There we go. It takes a little bit to load, but then you should see there is a graph underneath the call itself. And basically, with the graph shows you a rendering bug. No, technically, what you would see in the there we go. There's the line, and this is super helpful to quickly figure out which calls actually happened. Because if the call is only beep, 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 this will show in this line. So with time seeing this and listening to calls, you'll figure out, okay, this is one. There was like 50 seconds of just the tone, like the how do you call that, the calling tone before somebody picks up, and then you see where it starts, and you can go directly to where the conversation really started. Which means I'm now going to leave you with user management, Chris.
Yep, I'll just switch back over. So the user management, that was a few months ago that we changed that, but we basically revamped it to make it more straightforward and much easier to use. So you can find that in the settings of your account. This is on the account level, not on the workspace level. Give me a second. So this is in.
At some point, you have to update your profile picture, Chris.
It's in the user. Sorry, it is in the workspace setting. Users and workspaces, account users, and this is where you can connect users. So what you will see is a list of your help desk users, which you can connect. You can either select everyone or select individuals. You can add them to a specific workspace. You can connect those users. Connection, for anybody who doesn't know, connecting users means that you can review those users. They'll be in the account, but you can't. They don't know that you are reviewing them. They don't have access to Klaus yet. If you want to invite the users, which means they have a login, they receive notifications, they can get straight into Klaus, you can do so here. So it will show you which users still need to be invited. You can skip inviting if you don't want them to have access to the account, or you can invite them, at which time you have to select their permission. So there's 5 different permissions here. There's a knowledge base article on this and on the permission levels as well. So I can invite Egon as a user, and there we go.
And the error that you just saw is that there are no seats left. So.
But now you can see that all in the account users, you can see all of your users with their permission and no permission if they don't have an invitation. You can invite them from here. And then you can see active users, which ones are connected and which ones have been invited but haven't accepted yet.
Yeah, and then the final new thing is that our knowledge base is now available. The knowledge base, you don't need the settings. You just go to the knowledge base, Chris.
Yep, wrong one, sorry. Yep, knowledge base.
Is now available in Brazilian Portuguese. So if you have a support team in Brazil, or you are Brazilian or Portuguese, you can now check out the all the instructions also in Portuguese. We are working on also translating the app. This is something that should come sometime soon. If you have a Portuguese team or Portuguese team and you would like to be of the first people who have the option to switch between both languages, do let me know, because we are always interested in having more than just our own Brazilian eyes on the translations to make sure everything is in order.
Do you want to talk about root causes quickly? As we have
root causes. Why did I skip over root causes? Yeah, root causes. This is one of my favorite new features that we launched, because sometimes you actually know what could be the problems with a category. So that's why we have root causes. Here under compliance, we have prepared some root causes. If Chris clicks on the thumbs down, instead of just this being thumbs down, he can now choose one of these root causes, which will then allow me as the manager to analyze which of these is actually the problem. If none of these is the problem, choose one where you can then choose other. If you choose other, you can actually put your own reason in there. Now, this is interesting for those of you who would like to leave, in case of negative ratings, who would like to leave a comment per category. This kind of allows you to leave a comment for that one. And then if you go on the dashboard, you can actually analyze which of the root causes are the ones that have been used most frequently. For that, you go to the scores by category, click on here it would be under compliance, and then you get a list of all the different root causes and how often those have been selected as having been the reason for this to get the negative rating. And everything that has been put in manually goes under other root causes. All of this can also be, if you're using an API to export all the data for your own internal warehouse, this can all be exported. And then I think we're missing the hashtag management, and then I'll go into your questions.
Yeah, hashtag management. The hashtags have been available for quite a while in Klaus, so you can use these inside the comment section to note things like, let's discuss this on our one-on-one. If you notice that something keeps coming up over and over again. You might want to track it every time so you can see how many times that happens. Before, you added those hashtags by just typing them once, but what that meant was that people could misspell or have different ways of putting things, so you'd have loads of tags which are the same, mean the same thing, but there's duplicates of them. Now, inside of users and workspaces, you can go to hashtags, and here you can see a list of all of your active hashtags, how many times they've been used, so you can get rid of the ones that people don't use, and you can add new ones here, and also restrict who can add new hashtags, so you don't have that problem of people adding so many. And we actually have one here, which it isn't staged, it's actually real. Someone's put 101 instead of 1-on-1, so let's delete that one because it's used too often. And I think that's it.
Yeah,
anything else?
This is basically the most recent stuff that has come up in the past, that we have added, like the most important stuff that we have added in the past, maybe 6 months. We have klausapp.com/changelog, where every 2 weeks, more or less, we also add information. And now I'm going to look at the questions. So there are some questions about peer reviews. So peer reviews assignments for now cannot be used for, so they can be used for peer reviews because you're basically deciding this is the bunch of people who are going to review each other. So you can't use them for normal reviewers in terms of, you won't be able to say this person should review all of these, but it is these 3 people should review like themselves, or these 12 people should review them between themselves. That's why we call it peer reviews. We are currently working on, we are in the design stage of expansion of this that can allow you to figure out who should be reviewing what for reviewers. And those of you who would like to give input on this, let us know through chat, and because actually we might run some prototypes past you. So this is in the making. Then how did you decide on new language? So this was a mix between companies that we know are interested in Klaus, how big the market there is. So there was a lot of what would be the most interesting language in terms of making this a logical business decision, and Brazil was the clear winner. This is also for us a way to trial exactly which processes we need for localization. So while Brazilian Portuguese is the first language, I don't think it will be the last language that we are going to translate into. So once we have this one, all the processes, all the localization under wraps and organized, then we might look into others. But for now, Brazil is our first foray into localization, which is in the end much more broad than you'd think when you start thinking about it. Root causes. If you choose other for the negative feedback and want to leave a comment, could you please show how does the agent see that comment? They get this together with the, it basically is underneath the rating. So you have the rating, thumbs down, and then underneath you have it written. And yeah, and the root causes are available. They are visible for everyone. They are part of the review, just like a comment would be, only that this root cause would be attached to the rating itself and not like to the specific category. Maybe, Chris, you can show, like, share your screen and show how the root cause looks, like give a root cause rating, and then just show how it looks like in the sidebar, which is what the agents would be seeing.
So add a root cause to a ticket?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, no, wait, this is exactly what, so this, what you see here under Martin, like this is how the agent would also see it. They would see like in a little smaller font, hey, you were on the right.
Oh, sorry, I'm just seeing if I have some here that have root causes. Probably not now, just my luck. Nope, nobody's leaving me root causes. But yeah, it looks the same as Valentina was saying. It looks pretty much the same as it does when you leave the review, like this.
You have like the root cause written underneath the thumbs down. And what's your thoughts on peer reviews versus having a set of reviewers to conduct that exercise? I happen to know that in the quality tribe, community, there is a very big discussion around that comment. So Chris, maybe you can just plug the link to the Quality Tribe in there into the chat, and we'll also put it into as a reference into the email that we're going to send out. So I don't think the short story is one is not better than the other or worse than the other. It depends on what exactly you want to achieve. So peer reviews work really, really well if you're having people working together that are of different levels of expertise, or if you want to get the team closer together, if you want to facilitate knowledge sharing, like there's lots of, but I would not use it for performance reviews, for example, because peer reviews should build trust between the people on the team. It also can be used very well if you have two different teams. Let's say you have a team in the US reviewing people from a team, like mix them with a team from the EU, which is people that don't usually overlap in terms of time zones. That actually shows that everybody is doing their best, because very often the people in the EU think, oh, the people in the other time zones, they leave the most difficult questions to us. And then the people in later time zones in the US, for example, think, oh, the EU people, they are skipping all the difficult tickets because they all end up on our plate. So by doing peer reviews, everybody can actually see, oh, wow, everybody's working on the same type of ticket. So it's not like that people are skipping. And yeah, more details on this discussion, because it's a very broad topic, can be found in the Quality Tribe. Okay, I think that's it so far. And we still have 7 minutes left. That's German punctuality, I suppose.
Any last questions?
I said, let me check the chat.
I think we're up to date on the chat.
Okay.
I think we've answered all of the questions. Please just add in the chat if we missed one. Nope. Oh, Egor's typing. 1 second. Just so everybody knows, everybody who registered for this webinar will receive a recording of it, as well as some extra resources about the things that we discussed in this call. And we're going to do this. We're not sure how often we're going to do this yet, but we will be inviting you to a future one as well when we've added to some of the next things that we're cooking up.
Exactly. And check out the change log from time to time to find out even also the smaller things that are coming out. And thank you very much for coming, even though this was a very last minute, lots of changes coming up. It was really nice to see all those names that many of them I actually recognize in the chat. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Look out for my email. Probably send it this evening.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.